Remove the dryer. The first step is to remove the external vent for the dryer. Remove this black cover here. That's going to give us access to the actual vent. Remove the screws from the vent and disconnect the dryer vent hose from that so that we can then remove the dryer. First I get the sealant off of the screws. So I'm just trying to get the screw head here where I can put the tool in it to get the cover off here. This just has 2 screws on the bottom that hold the cover in place, which primarily is just intended to keep the water from being able to go into the dryer or into the RV through the dryer vent. There, yeah, there we go. I have to break the seal on this vent cover where I put all this nice silicone sealant around it so that it wouldn't have any leaks. I'm trying to break it at the edge. There's also sealant underneath it. But I don't want to accidentally break the vent. So that gets the vent cover off. We'll have to clean all that silicone off of there in order to put this back in place. So that's the 4 screws holding the dryer vent cover in place. I'm just breaking the seal with the silicone around the edges to make sure I don't break this plastic cover in the process of removing it and then have to replace it and make this repair even more expensive. So it's not wanting to come off. I guess that means I got a good watertight seal there, at least in theory. There we go. Finally got that seal to break. And then we have it that holds the vent on. Get a screwdriver. Yes. I managed to get this loose, and now I'm just gonna, by hand, loosen it up enough so that I can remove the vent cover. So this is gonna go back in, but not completely remove this from the outside because it's connected to the dryer on the inside. I am gonna push it in through the hole far enough that when I go to remove the dryer, it's not creating any resistance. If it's still stuck in the wall here, then it can make it difficult to get the dryer out. So I got the entire vent for the dryer to the inside, so it's out of the way and I don't have to worry about it. I have to finish cleaning up this silicone so that we can put the thing back together after we finish doing the work. This tool's pretty good at helping you do that. You just have to be careful when you're working on a painted surface that you don't end up paint. In this case, it's my RV, mine and my wife's RV. So if I mess it up, I'll be in trouble with her. myself, but I won't have a mad customer. I do not consider myself a professional. I do some of this work myself instead of having to pay somebody to do it. And seeing as that saves me a bunch of money, I try to do that when I can. Sometimes I hit a spot where it doesn't really want to come up very easily. And now we're going to remove the dryer. First thing we've got to do is remove this door so we get that extra inch so that we can actually get the dryer out without banging everything up. And we'll go through the removal process of these items. This door is just like the drawers on this RV and like many residential drawers. There is a little lever, and you just move that lever either up or down depending on the hinge. That allows you to slide the drawer all the way out, or in this case to slide the door all the way off. So I got to reach back here and I feel that one thing there, so I've released that one. And now I got to get down here on the floor and get this other one, and then we'll have this door completely off. Got the door completely off, and just move it a little bit out of our way, pushing in the part of the rail that extends on the bottom here and on the top, so I don't have to worry about messing them up. And I'm just going to remove the stuff that's on top of our dryer here, and then we'll go through the removal of the dryer. To remove the dryer, I'm going to start with the board that is up on top of it. That brown board, which has screws going into both sides, is on top of the dryer, so the dryer can't bounce up as the RV is going down the highway. And of course the dryer's on top of the washer, so that also keeps the washer from bouncing up. It's just 2 screws into the sidewall. I'm going to remove those real quick, and then we'll go to the next step on removing the dryer. Ooh, way too fast. I had to remove the 2 screws that were holding it up against the sidewall. Now that's clear, and we can proceed to our next step. We just pull this bottom plate off. I didn't have it fully in there, so it came out real easy. But then we've got 3 sheet metal screws here that are on a bracket that's attached directly to the washer. In the back, a similar bracket, except it has a little lip that engages with the metal frame of the dryer on the back. So I take these 3 screws out, and then I can lift the dryer up and over. I have to unplug the dryer. I've already disconnected the vent outside. So after I unplug the dryer is ready for me to go ahead and pull it out. Just to make sure I did unplug the dryer, not the washer, test it there. The first thing I have to do is lift this up and then pull it forward so I'm clear of the connections. So I lift it up and pull it forward. You can see there's not a lot of extra space to work with. That's typical of an RV setup. Okay, now we got the dryer. Now to reinstall the dryer back on top of our washer. So this little metal lip here, what it does is it goes into this slot here, and that keeps the back end of the dryer from going up. And then these 3 screws here are going in here on the front of the dryer, and that keeps the front from moving, and it also keeps it from releasing from the back because it can't move anywhere. So we're going to go ahead and try and put this back in here without damaging the vent hose. Otherwise we will have to replace the vent hose. So keep it clear and make sure that I can lift it too. Okay. Got my arm in the way. Hold on. All right, come on. Go back. Alright, and then we go up over this bracket here. It's too far. Okay. We gotta go over to the left some. That's too far. What? No, that's about right. Okay, come on. Back tab engaged, and the screws in the front lined up. And I do have those screws in my pocket. And I'm going to use the drill, put them back in place on its lowest setting, 3 for here. Okay. And we put this decorative front plate on. Up here on top, we have this little support brace that holds the dryer from bouncing as you're going down the road. And so we gotta put that back in. There we go. And then the other one. Have to remember the all-important step of plugging the machine back in. Okay, now all we have to do is connect the dryer vent on the outside. We're working the vent pipe back out through the hole from the inside, and got to get it out here far enough that we can connect it around the black part there with a good piece that's intact. Yeah, and fasten it there. Work our way around this other stuff. It's gonna scrunch this up on the black part. I need that. Yeah. Yep.
You know, it's a hole in the top.
Yes, but I'm gonna go past the hole.
Okay.
If I can get this to cooperate, I'm going to. So we worked the vent hose out through the hole. We put it around this black vent thing, and we got the metal band here that holds it in place. I use a regular screwdriver here to tighten up this band, and that will keep the vent hose on the black part here, so it's venting to the outside. And I opened it up all the way just to make sure it was easy to get it into position. Make sure you got this snug. I can still turn that, so it's probably not snug enough. See. Now I got a fair amount of resistance when I tried to turn it, so just a couple more turns should do it. Yeah, that's feeling pretty tight when I'm turning the screw now. So now we're gonna push this back in till we get the screw past the outer wall. There we go. And make sure we got all of our foil in there as well. And then before I put this all the way back, I'm going to put a bead of sealant around it underneath the lip here, and then I'll push it in the rest of the way and put the screws in. So now all I have to do is cut the tip off. Oops. And I need to sharpen my knife. Been using it for too many things that I shouldn't use it for. Okay. The reason I'm slowing down there is I've learned that this little tip that you cut off, when you're not going to be using a whole tube of a sealant, if you save it, you can stick it back in the end of the tube, and it works as a real good cork to preserve the rest of the sealant. You handed me that little wire thing there? Okay. Yep. And then this allows us to puncture the inner seal there. Do it a couple times to make sure we got it. And can you give me a piece of paper towel so I can clean this off? And then I'm going to put that cut on the downside, and I'm going to put my caulk on it slow because I don't want to get carried away with how much caulk I'm putting here, which I think I did last time I did this. I prefer to use the slower speed so that my physical movements can keep up with what the caulk, with the sealant flowing out at. All right, you hand me my drill there. Thank you. And we're going to get a couple of screws started out. Come on. Now, don't have that one lined up real well. It's always the fun part, finding where those holes are. Get one of them, it gets a lot easier to get the rest of them. Okay, we got one lined up. Now we should be able to get a second one lined up. Yeah, there we go. Put our other two in. Get the other two started, and then we will tighten it down. See the sealant squeezing out there some. Water problems in RVs are really expensive. Making sure you're not going to have any water leaks is really critical. I'm going to need a paper towel first so I can clean up this excess. And I'm probably by far not the most efficient at how I do my sealant, but so far I haven't had any leaks, so that's good for something, right? Try to get all the excess out of here. It doesn't need to be here. Try to get some of this excess off of this. And it also makes sure that I have the sealant at the edge of the seam where it needs to be to prevent any leaking, and make sure that we did not get any sealant on this, because this has to open up when the dryer runs. And if it doesn't, that creates a problem. Now we have a second cover that goes over this, and we're going to put that on now. Thank you. And on this one, I'm just going to go around it after I put it in place with the sealant, as it's a secondary cover. I'm just going to go around this and put a good bead all the way around it, and then we are done. I got to make sure I got enough to keep it from a water leak. Okay, I just got this other part of the top and this other side, and we can call it a night. I'm gonna have to smooth that out with my hand. There. There we go. Okay. Yeah, and that's still loose. And that's it. We're done.
Except montón en esa esquina.